Hello, Rod here, Broken Nickel Garage. Wanted to go over camping basics. So I know there's still a lot of people that have not had the opportunity to go camping. They don't know where to begin, how to start. Just don't overthink it. Camping follows under the acronym KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Bare essentials. You need a tent. Granted, this is a very small two-person tent. A sleeping bag. Some kind of camp kitchen. Inside of this cup is a mini stove. I can make soups, boil water for freeze-dried instant meals, a variety of things. Fuel canister to go with said stove. A boo-boo kit. It's always good to have a first aid kit. You just never know. So I rarely use it, but I don't go without it. I carry an MSR water filtration bottle. I'm not going to say this is for everybody. Just depends on where you're going to be camping and what your goal is. The reason I like these MSRs is they'll thread onto an Nalgene bottle. It's very simple. And again, this is not something everybody will need. It's a 1-gallon foldable canteen. This one's from Giant Loop. So normally, if I do an overnighter, depending where I'm going, I have a minimum 2, if not 3 bottles of water. Granted, this 1-gallon canteen will definitely add to that capacity, but just don't overthink it. I always take a knife of some sort. I take usually a little more than this, but just to get out and camp. If you're new, this is your bare essentials, at least for me. Granted, when we were young and kids, we started with a tarp and an old wool blankets, and an army rucksack from the 70s, just a dump bag. Food, again, you can keep it simple. Ramen, oatmeals, there's a lot of freeze-dried food options now that you just add, some of you just add water. You don't even have to heat up the food. This next section, I'm going to look at a map, and we'll pick a location, and I'll show you the map I'm looking at. And I like having 2 maps. The reason I like 2 maps is I can mark on each one where I'm going, and I can leave my spare map with the same location or area with my family. Can't be too safe, and often I might pick a spot and I may not be in that particular spot, but I'm usually within a few miles, just depending on how busy an area is, or if I run into people, or I see something I like a little better. But I always try to be in that very near that region, if that makes sense, very close. GoPro, stop recording. Alright, maps are awesome, just awesome. I love maps. So this is a map of our Little Belts area near my home here. So roughly my house would be right about here. We're going to come in down Highway 89. I think I'm going to go into a spot I've not camped at before. So we're going to run down past Monarch, past Memorial Falls, and take 267. And I think I want to sneak back up here where this blue triangle is. And I will put a couple marks of likely spots where I'll be camping, so my family will know where if I don't respond. Recently I picked up an additional safety item, a Zoleo satellite communicating device like the Garmin's. I found it was much cheaper, great reviews. So far I like it. Gone on one trip with me. But as far as maps, you have a lot of resources. Of course, you can go to any sporting goods store and find maps and buy maps. A lot of your sporting goods stores will have a much smaller map of a smaller region that will give you much better, higher detail. That will show you elevation, mountains. Highly recommend learning how to at least understand topographical maps. But you can go to if you have a BLM office, Bureau of Land Management, Fish and Game, a lot of Forest Service offices, a lot of times will have free maps. This is a free map. I like free maps. Of course, I got some I paid for as well. But get an idea and go camping. And like I said, if you're still new to it, look for campgrounds that are close to your house. Public campgrounds are a great way to get your feet wet. For me, I've had nice times in some public campgrounds, but often I find that someone's got noisy dogs or they're playing their stereo and cranking music when I don't want that. So a lot of places I go to tend to be a little more remote. I try to be very cautious with tread lightly. Don't go in and just tear up a virgin campsite. If you pack it in, take it out with you. Don't leave trash. I'm frequently picking up people's garbage when I'm out and about. We need to take care of our land, because if we don't, our kids may not have the opportunities to go explore and play in our great mountains and outdoors.
Well, this is the Jefferson Creek Road. I didn't bore you with the highway frontage. It's a nice ride. Rather scenic. Figured we'd run up here, find a good spot to pitch a tent. So I don't know if I'm going to go quite as far as I wanted to up the trail. I know there's some decent camping spots down here, but I kind of got out of town a little later than I kind of wanted to. You know, get dicking around, and next thing you know, an hour goes by, and then 2 hours. And considering it's middle of the week on a Wednesday, I should have pretty open pickings to whatever I want. Yeah, and I did bring a new fishing pole that has not yet caught a fish. We really need to pop the cherry on that virgin. And then I ended up adding a new fishing reel to that pole. The reel I was going to use is kind of, it outlived its usefulness. Kind of looking for some good firewood close to a campsite. Kind of lazy that way, you know. right up. It went pretty good until I got into the twisties and caught up to a cattle truck. Now, FYI, if you're on a bike, don't get too close. You never know when the piss and shit's gonna come out of that trailer. If I remember right. Well, we found a spot we'll call home for tonight. Right on the creek, Old Jefferson Creek. Got my ice cold Diet Pepsi and my Rocky Mountain ATV jug. Well, Pringles. Rode just fine tucked in there. Life will be good tonight. So, this will be a nice campsite. Easy to get to, lots of room. I'm going to mark it on my GPS as a car camp and tailgate spot. Got established fire ring. Got kind of a flat spot here that I started to clear out. I'll set my little tent on this spot. Got water right there, the creek's there. No dead trees around me. That's something to keep in mind when you're pitching a tent. Look for dead trees, dead snags that might fall in the middle of the night. And if you're lucky and just a big branch falls and gives you a headache, that's one thing. But if the tree tips over in the middle of the night and lands on a guy or gal, you're toast. So yeah, kind of eyeball everything before you pitch a tent. Oh, I blew too hard. I got pushy. Good thing I'm cheating. Oh, hell, I'm looking like a rookie tonight. got a campfire started, boys and girls. Best way to get rid of mosquitoes. So you see, camping really is rather easy for the most part. A little prep, a little plan. Everybody can do it. And I think everybody should try it. Might not be your cup of tea, but it's a good thing. For me, it's like therapy, and I've said that many times. It allows me to just take the focus off of the daily grind and just focus on the basics. And of course, having a campfire is never a bad thing when permitted. Yeah, I wish I could share this with more people. Sometimes it's just getting away in the solitude and by yourself. For me, anyhow, it's a mental reset. I did cheat a little bit with starting my fire. Used a little tree sap and then a little butane lighter. I don't mind cheating. I'm not stupid. I don't know if you can hear the crackle of the fire. That is just amazing. And I don't know if it's because it takes me back to when I was young and camping and hiking was a new adventure and exciting. I've had a lot of good laughs with friends around campfires. Maybe that's why I enjoy the sound so much now. It reminds me of my younger days. Yeah, I encourage everyone, try it. If you don't have someone to go out with, look on Facebook. There may be like-minded people in groups that you can visit with and talk and have ideas and do a big group camp. It's never a bad thing. And I do live here in Montana. Montana is definitely bear country. So I kind of plan accordingly. Don't have food in my tent at night. My food is, I use a earth sack mostly. It's bear rated. They can't tear it apart. Put your food in it, tie it up to a tree.
And they say you're probably a good 100 yards from your tent, just to be safe. Just had to have a fire tonight. I wasn't planning on cooking or anything on it. That's always fun too. So my camp kitchen, we've got a little fold-up GSI kit. It's got a cutting board. We keep tin foil. Tin foil is camper's best friend. I don't know if you saw me using this. It's a pocket bellow. Got it off Amazon. Extend it. And you don't have to get your face quite in the fire. You can pinpoint where you want the air to blow. Throughout the years, quite often we kneel down on our knees, get our face next to the coals, and we start blowing. And more than once, I've seen somebody get lightheaded and fall into the fire. Thank God no one's ever really been seriously hurt. But that could be a bad day for somebody. So that's a great little camper hack, pocket bellow. Good morning. Well, yeah, let's get comfy. Survived the night. It got cold, kind of cold last night, and it didn't help. I was wearing cotton socks, and I forgot to load my wool socks. Yeah, I had a hard time keeping my feet warm last night. Ended up having my good old shirt stuffed down the bottom of my sleeping bag with my feet to help knock the edge off it. I don't know. But we're sitting here making some breakfast. Already done brush our teeth, and so little food's cooking. I'll show you that here in a moment. It's got another probably 5 minutes to soak. But this is a neat little bag by Hyperlite Mountain Gear. I'm dripping. So you just let your meal sit in the bag while it heats up, and it just makes it more efficient. Morning. I wanted to talk about my Mountain Hardware tent before I do my last breakdown and load up and get ready to ride out on my donkey. This is the Mountain Hardware Nimbus 2 tent. I really don't know why nobody's talking about this tent, at least on the channels that I watch with moto camping and backpacking and hiking. Great tent. Little over 2 pounds, very well made, ultra light. In the beginning, I was kind of concerned the fabric feels so thin and light. But I've set this thing up 8 different nights now. Comes with really decent quality, lightweight stakes. The tent poles have this latching tongue and groove latch that works really well. That locks your pole in place. The Rainfly has this great little cable adjuster that
clips right onto your retainer. Fabulous. Just ultralight, very smart. The fly has some Velcro attachments to go to the poles. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why people aren't talking about this one. If you're in the market for a tent and you're looking for something that packs up small, doesn't weigh much, fits in your panniers great, check out Mountain Hardware. Ample room on the inside. Yeah, I typically, as you see, I set up kind of in the middle and I stage my gear on each side of me. Got a pocket on each side, very easy to get to. An overhead pocket. That's where I kind of keep my flex tail, which is also my tent lantern at night. Vestibule's got pretty decent coverage. You know, I like it. The headroom's not bad. Give you an idea, I'm 5'10", 225 pounds. I can sit up towards the front here, of course. It kind of tapers to the rear. Yeah, great little tent. If you're, like I said, if you're in the market and you're looking for a tent, definitely check out the Mountain Hardware Nimbus 2. Fabulous. Thank you. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you again soon.